All right, another video, the art of living. All right, step one, we're gonna take the parts out and lay them out on the ground. Now we got all the parts laid out. And notice all the parts have letters on them. So I group everything together so I keep up with everything. Have an A, got a couple of B's, and in the little box, this little box that comes in the little kit, all your little small parts and screws and stuff are in that box, so you put that to the side too. Don't take all your screws out, just wait until you get everything up. Then I know these pieces right here, they're gonna go on last, so we're gonna leave those right here to the side, and this stuff right here is gonna be pretty much the thing. Let's go ahead and start putting, I guess it should be the headboard first. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, the first step in the assembly is you need to go ahead and get parts A, B, B, E, and your screws, and you want to lay them out just like this. Okay, so just like the instructions, I have A, B, B, and E on this side, E on that side. And notice you have a clean side right here, and you have the side that's the back of it. I'm gonna put that facing back so that it matches this. So pay attention to that. That's all right. We have this. Let's go ahead and put the screws in. So we're gonna need screws and washers. We're gonna need S7 and S3. This is your parts. That's your S7. And these are your S3s. Okay, got my S7s and S3s. I'm gonna take one. Really, just take 3 of them. Two, and one more. So this will be enough for one side. All right, so what you want to do, you want to line your holes up. So if you look down here, you see how the holes, line them up. Put them in with your hands. Don't tighten them up, just get it started, each one. Right. The reason you want to do it like this is because you want to make sure that everything lines up properly. If you tighten them up too early, there's a good chance that they won't fit. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do the other side this exact same way. Okay, in your kit, it comes with 2 Allen wrenches. Just take one. We're going to kind of tighten these up. We're not going to make them too tight, but just get it where it won't come apart. So notice that's not tight. And we want to do all the screws like this. There we go. Get this one again. We didn't really do this as a good job. If it's kind of tight, kind of shake it and then go back and try to do it. What it could be, the fabric from the material might be in the way. All right, like I said, don't tighten them all the way down, just get it snug. And we're gonna do the other side the exact same way, and then we're gonna go to our next step. Okay, we got all the parts connected. Like I said, we haven't tightened. We're gonna go back and tighten that toward the end. All right, next step. All right, here's the next step. We're gonna go to 2, so we need part C and we need part L. So it's 2 L's and 1 C, and then we need an S2, S2. So we got 2, 4 S2s. So that's the next step we're gonna do. Okay, here's your L pieces, as you can see over here in your pack. These are your S2s, so we're gonna get those out. This is C. And notice you have the material side right here, and at the bottom you have the side that's exposed where you're gonna put the S2s and the L feet on. So let's go ahead and get those together. All right, very important on the L pieces. You notice that it has a slant in it. So the slant side is going to be on the inside of this. So the straight side is on the outside, which is like this. And same thing on this side. It's going to be the straight side is on the outside. Now, you have your Allen wrench. It's a longer one. So these are what you're going to use to put the screws in. So you drop those in right here. And we're just going to get them lined up, and then we're going to tighten everything down. This step right here, you can go ahead and tighten these screws up because it's nothing that you're going to need to take off. So go ahead and tighten these up. So let's go ahead and get these tight. All right, we have C and L together. Notice that straight line and the slant is on the inside on both sides. All right, so that step is done. Step 3 in the assembly is we're gonna need parts H and I and K, and we're gonna need S4. We're gonna need 2 S4s, so we're gonna go ahead and put that together. Okay, this is your part H. This is K, and this is I. See it right there. All right. So the way this works is you're gonna have that leg out. This is gonna go here. Now, this is not right. This is gonna, if you look over here on the side, you have H. We want this where the holes at the top are gonna line up here, and you have one hole up at the top right here that's gonna line up on K. All right, after you get those in, you're gonna take S4. So where's your S4? You got S4 right here. So you're gonna take 2 screws out of S4, and we're just gonna install them in here. This is another piece that you're gonna tighten up because we're not gonna come back and have to make any kind of adjustments. All right, we got that together. So now, if you look, H, K, and notice how I got the screws in there. It's a gap in the middle. So that's the way it need to do it. So that's how your assembly should look. Okay, next step. All right, so this is step 4 on the assembly right here. If you notice, we're gonna use parts D now. And then we're gonna use several different mounting components. We're gonna use the M1 brackets, and we're gonna use S1 screws. Okay, so we got all the parts set up. We have M1s, we have parts D, notice part D, and M2 and M2. So the screws that we're using RBDs, they're gonna be S1s, no washers needed. Now, one thing you wanna notice, that facing away from you, you have the little wood slats up right here, and the hooks are gonna be going on where the hooks are gonna be facing down away from the little wood slats right here. So again, the hooks are gonna be facing down when you use the screws. This right here is gonna be toward the top because this is gonna be the top side on both of these. And then we still have to connect that, but we're gonna come back to that later. Same thing over here, M2, and the hooks are facing down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my S1 screws, get everything tight, and then we're gonna come back and put the rest of it. Okay, show you how to put the S1s and S2s on. So just find your holes right here to line up. Always start your screws by hand first. There we go. And now you want to take your Allen wrench, like I say you have 1 or 2, and you're gonna kind of just tighten them up slowly. All right. If you're having an issue getting in, kind of take it out and reposition it. Sometimes, like I said, you have something could be blocking it. There we go. So when you tighten these up, you just turn the Allen wrench this way and tighten it up. So you use the Allen wrench this way for speed, do it this way for torque or strength. Okay, that's tight. Don't over tighten this, because if you over tighten the screws, you can break something. So we're gonna do the rest of the little brackets like that, and then we're gonna go to our next step. Okay, so we got everything assembled. We got the M1s on the Ds, and other set of Ds, you have your M2 on this side. So just in case you're wondering, this is the left side with M1s. On the right side, you have your M2s. So that's where you should be at now. And notice it's not connected yet, so we're going to that step next. Next step is step 5 in the assembly. So in step 5, we're going to use S6 screws, and we're going to need parts J. So we need 2 parts J. I have those here. 1, 2. Okay, 1 is going to go at the bottom, and 1 is at the top. So your J parts. Notice it has a little lip on it right here. That lip is going to help support D. So you put that down like that, and you take the other J and put that up like that. Your screw holes right there lined up. So with your screw holes, we are going to use S6 screws. So you have your S6 screws right here. So we're going to go ahead and put those in there. And this is part of the assembly. You can go ahead and tighten them up. You don't have to leave them loose. Only thing so far that we left loose was the headboard. So just keep that in mind. All the other screws has been tightened. All right, so let's go ahead and get the S6 screws out, and we're gonna go ahead and put them in. Okay, to assemble this, basically you're gonna line up your brackets with the holes. Put one here, one over here. And I'm starting everything with my hands. So the reason you start everything with your hands is so you don't cross thread anything. And if it's kind of hard to get in, you can just go back. You can go back with your Allen key and kind of shake it, or just kind of force it in. So those are going in, so that looks good. And check this last one. All right, all of them in position. Go ahead and slide that in. So the way you do this is you're gonna take your hand and you're gonna place it like this, and you're gonna tighten the screws down. So that way you have a good fitting on the little feet that's gonna support the bed, and you're gonna do the same thing on this side. So as you're doing this, you're gonna tighten the bolts up. Okay, I got the bolts in. This is the bad design. The reason I say that is because if you try to tighten these too much, it's gonna force the screws up and push the bracket out of position. So you don't want that to happen. So just get it tight enough where they're not gonna come out. Okay, so have the legs connected right here. Like I said, I got them tight, but not super tight. I'm gonna show you a way we're gonna tighten these up later on in the video. So we're through with that. So now we are ready to go to step 6, which is here. And step 6, it seems like we're gonna start assembling the bed. So we're gonna need D, and we're gonna need I, H, and we're gonna need, what's at the base? We're gonna need the base, which is C. I don't know why I didn't put that number on there. All right, so we're gonna get that and we're gonna start putting together. And we're gonna use what screws? We're gonna use S5 screws. So right there are your S5 screws. We're gonna use that to start putting everything together. Okay, so we got everything together and well placed out where we need to go. We have our C right here. We have our D's right here on the side. Another D on that side. It doesn't matter which way you do it. Most likely what's gonna happen, you're gonna have an M2 up here at the top and an M1 over here at the top. Over here, with this, you want to make sure that you have I, which is here, down the bottom K, and then this is H. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Okay, so with this piece in the middle, you want to have H at the bottom. As you can see right here, H is going to attach to C right here in these holes. And then on this side, you have your K and you have your I. That's just going to be floating. All right, so now let's go ahead and attach D and the H to C. And the screws we're going to be using, it's going to be the S5 screws. So let's go ahead and start putting the screws in, and we'll be halfway done. Okay, to make this easy for you, I'm gonna show you an easy way to do this. We're gonna take our screws, S5s, we're gonna go ahead and start putting the screws in here. So what you're gonna do is just wanna get them in like that. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna just take the hooks and hook them on to C, like so. But not just that, let's go ahead and do the headboard too. So up here, we got screws up here, screws right there. So we're gonna take, again, we're gonna take the S5 screws and we're gonna put them up there. So really 5 and 7 steps are combined. I don't know why they did it that way, but I'm gonna walk you through it after I get everything put together. Okay, so I had the screws started for everything on C and the headboard up here. You see I have the screws. Now, the reason I did it that way is because this is gonna make it a lot easier for you. So what we're gonna do is just take your D and your M1 and M2s, and we're just gonna line them up. Just gonna line them up like that and just hang them on there. There we go. So let's go ahead and do the same thing at the bottom. have that screw. Let's back the screw out a little bit. All right, that one. Let's go on this side. And we're gonna hook this on, and we're gonna do the same thing at the top, and then also hook this on. So give me a second. Okay, so as you can see, I got everything hooked on right there. We had this piece hooked on right there, one on that side, and up here. So this is what you should be looking at. Pretty much the frame is together. So now I'm gonna go ahead, at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and start tightening all the bolts up, because I need to tighten these up, and I'm gonna tighten the ones up on the headboard. But at the same time, you notice my headboard is kind of uneven. That's the reason. You can go back and straighten everything up. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna hold off on the headboard part. I'm gonna line the headboard up after I get the base finished assembled and stuff like that. And then we'll go back and make adjustments up here. All right, I have everything tight. Shake everything, it's pretty good. That's tight, that was tight, and that was tight. Now, on this part right here, you remember I was saying you couldn't really tighten this up because when you tighten it up, it was raising up. So now you can put pressure on this, and you should be able to tighten them up a little bit more. So like on this side, if I put my leg or something on it, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I'm just checking to make sure that it's tight. I'm not gonna over tighten it. There we go. Because only thing you really need is this not to come loose right here. You don't need it where it's basing the foundation for a house or something. It just basically, you don't want it to come apart. All right. So the next step is we got to take G and put this in using S7 and S4 washers and screws. So here's my G bar. And basically line that up here, line that up here, and line that up here. Let's make sure that's in the right position. Nope. And you notice that the hole's not lined up, so you need to flip this bar around. Let's see if that helps. That's in position. That's still kind of off. So most likely I just need to slide this over. Let's just make sure. Yep. S4, S3. So if you notice, the one in the middle, you need an S3 screw, and the one on the sides, you need S4. So that one needs an S4, this one needs an S4, and then this one needs S3 along with washers. So let's go ahead and get that set up real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so putting on this G-bar is not gonna make a difference. Both of them, it's gonna even itself out when you put these screws in right here and this screw right in right here, so that's centered. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these screws up, like so. Don't have to be super tight, just snug. Same thing over here. So that's snug. Let's get this side over here. Snug. All right. So now, when you look at your bed frame, it should look something like this now. Okay, I got a couple more screws and just a few more parts to put on, and then we go ahead and tighten the headboard up. Okay, so we just got through with assembling step 8. So now we're gonna go to 9. So now you have the slats that's gonna go across the bed. F2 is gonna go at the top. Excuse me, F1 is gonna go by the headboard. F2 is at the bottom. Now I want you to notice something. When you assemble this right here, the D parts, you have Velcro right here. So that's what's gonna hold your slats up on both sides. It's Velcro. So when you put these pieces on, you wanna make sure that the Velcro is facing down. So that's your F2 and that's your F1. All right, like I said, F1 at the top. And with your F1, you're gonna need a S7 and an S3 screw. So let's go ahead and get that in place. Okay, so we got our S1 and S3 washer and screw. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the bed frame. This is our F1 slat. So we're just gonna line this hole up. You only have this hole in the F1. So I'm just gonna line that up, get it in like so. And that's it. Don't need it super tight. Now, what we gotta do, we gotta line up the edges, the side of the bed. We gotta line the side of the bed up so that way all this will fit in place. So I need 2 hands for this, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I got it started. See how I got the slat resting on the wood right here. Same thing over here. I don't know why they make it like this, but you notice that you got a little gap right there, so you want to try to make sure that it's centered so it won't fall off. So that's pretty, about the same amount of gap in there. All right, so what you want to do with the slats, you want to just take the Velcro. They're attached with Velcro, so they're not just singles. They're all attached together. You want to pull the slats out and make sure that the Velcro is fully extended. And then come over here, do the same thing, like so. And you want to do this all the way down, like that. That side is good. That side is good. Get our little wrench out of the way. Okay, so that's even. That's even. So that's fully extended now. All right. So that was pretty simple. Get this out the middle of here. All right, we're gonna do F2, and then we're gonna go back and get our headboard adjusted. Okay, so I have my slats put together. I'm gonna go ahead and make my adjustment on my headboard, make sure that everything's straight. And then I'm just gonna tighten up the bolts. Truthfully, you can probably go ahead and tighten these bolts up. It wasn't hard to attach this. The reason these don't want you to really tighten this stuff up all the way is because if you had to do some kind of slight adjustment or something, it'd be easier for to do it instead of had to go back and loosen up everything. But this went together pretty smooth, so you can tighten them up or you can leave them loose. My suggestion, go ahead and just tighten them up so you won't forget them. All right, I'm gonna make my adjustments on the headboard. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. We got everything together. We got everything tight. It's pretty sturdy. All the slats and stuff are together. Everything's even and not hanging off the side, because if you have it hanging off the side, there's a good chance that when you put the mattress on that it's gonna fall to the floor and stuff like that. All the bolts and everything are tightened up, so that's when you wanna make sure that you did all that. Now, here goes the most important part. If you decide that you're gonna be able, if you're moving, keep up with your Allen key and stuff like that. Maybe take it and tape it to the back side of the bed or something, on an envelope or something, because you're gonna have to disassemble this bed. You don't have to take the headboard apart, but you will have to take, loosen up the screws here, here, and over there. You just loosen up those screws, and then you'll have to take these screws completely out on this middle bar, and then you're able to take the bed apart and take it to your next destination if you happen to move. So keep up with your Allen wrench. If you don't have it, then like I say, you can just get any Allen wrench and stuff out the store. But that's what you would have to do if you decide that you're gonna move. This feels pretty sturdy and stuff like that. We're ready to throw the mattress on. Keep in mind, it's kind of low to the floor. I believe from the floor you have roughly like maybe 10 inches or something. So if you want a low bed, this bed is going to sit low to the floor. If you get you a thick mattress, like 14 inches thick, so it'll probably put you maybe at a normal size. I make sure you get a thick mattress so you can cover this up, and that way you won't have no wall or anything exposed. So get you a thick mattress, don't get nothing thin. Other than that, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Hit the like button and make sure that you turn on the notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. Hey, this is Marcos, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.